Hi everybody, my name's Connor. I work at Google in San Francisco on a team that at its highest level is dedicated to keeping our users safe and secure online. If you've seen things in your Google account like take the 2-minute security checkup and stuff like that, that's our team trying to help you be safe and secure and private online. Oh, and we're nexting automatically. There we go. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a program that we developed to help keep kids safe online, specifically kids who are still developing their digital habits, who are new to the internet, or maybe who are just about to turn 13 and start accessing the wider world of the internet, and I'm going to tell you about that today. So probably everyone in this audience, if you're at Kids at Play, such family tech conference, has a pretty solid understanding of the fact that to be successful in the workforce today, kids need to be learning digital skills. No matter what path students decide to take, whether that's four-year college, whether that's trade school, really any path, digital skills are absolutely critical. But before educators and parents themselves can start to teach their kids how to use the internet to collaborate and to learn and to work with one another and create new knowledge, they need to be able to keep themselves safe online. It's kind of step zero before we open up this wide world of the internet, and that's what Be Internet Awesome is all about. So kids, as we all know, are using the internet at an unprecedented rate. And the number on the screen that actually gets me most is the one about smartphones. And because what that says to me is that anytime that there's an interest in gaining new knowledge, anytime there's that impulse to what is the square root of whatever, or what are the pyramids in Egypt and what's the history behind them, or any question that comes to a student's mind, right in their pocket. They have the access to that information, and so habits are formed turning to it. And that can be really amazing and really empowering, but it also can bring risks. So we also know that those risks that do come with the internet and do come with youngsters using the internet are best mitigated by educators. The Family Online Safety Institute, who is one of our partners who helped us create Be Internet Awesome, their research shows that educators are in the position to best maximize the benefits and minimize the harms of digital technology in kids' lives. But research that we've done internally at Google, called the US Teacher Survey, has shown us that 82% of educators here in the US and similar numbers outside the US feel that they are not well equipped to teach digital literacy and digital citizenship. And so we sought out to create a program that would at least help kickstart that conversation, both for educators and for parents and for kids themselves. And this is actually a really important, kind of the crux of our approach that we've taken, which is that no single audience, no single party here can accomplish the goals that we're setting out to accomplish alone. Kids need to be personally invested in keeping themselves safe online. Educators have a big role to play in making sure they have the knowledge. And parents have a big role to play in reinforcing and modeling the correct behaviors. And so we've developed specific resources for each of these audiences, recognizing that what a teacher needs in the time span that they have to have these conversations is very different from what a parent needs to embark on these conversations too. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about each of those three audiences and what we created for them. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a quick video because cute kids are always more effective at communicating ideas than someone like me. Let's see here.
I couldn't imagine what the world would be like without internet today. It'd be nothing but chaos.
I try to prepare him for the real world. I'm not with him 24/7, so I can't protect him all the time, can I?
Kids are inherently curious, and on the internet there's so much knowledge and information that I need to make sure that as an educator that I'm teaching them the skills that they need to start to look out for themselves. The Be Internet Awesome program is designed to teach students in a fun way how to be safe online.
You're on a web page and you see a button that says click here and you could win $1 million. What do you think would happen? Yeah, Matthew.
Get scammed?
Maybe you'd get scammed. Ethan.
Whatever you're on could get a virus?
What do you do if someone you don't know tries to follow you?
I block them because I have a private account.
Excellent.
We are about to journey into a place that's called Interland to learn how to be internet awesome.
100 points!
Good job, Zaire. All right. You got it.
What they do online now is something that's going to follow them for the rest of their lives. The lessons we're doing and the activities that we're doing in the classroom are making an impact. They are developing the skills that they need in order to be able to keep themselves safe online.
Looks like it'd be real.
It's fake, because
It's
look
fake,
how
Leslie.
internet is spelled.
Then I would have got fish with me.
Nowadays, the internet is the way people see you.
Anybody can post anything on the internet, and sometimes those things that they post are not okay.
Be respectful to others. If somebody gets hurt, try to help them. If you come across something that's either inappropriate or like bullying or just anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, you should tell somebody.
Be internet awesome.
So first, talking a little bit about what we created for educators. So these topics are not necessarily rocket science. Creating strong passwords, understanding what phishing is and how to look for signs of phishing and how to avoid it, knowing that being an upstander when you encounter cyberbullying online is oftentimes one of the most kind of empowered positions you can be in as a student. They're pretty simple ideas, but they can feel daunting, especially the more technical ones like phishing and encryption. I do a lot of events with educators, and I'll oftentimes ask, who knows how to define phishing? And they'll start to think about fish. That's not the kind of phishing we're talking about here. And so we built something really robust that allows educators to get deep into the curriculum and then share it with their students as is appropriate for the age level that they're teaching. So this has vocabulary, discussion guides, worksheets, class activities, small group activities, all kinds of great stuff. The entire curriculum is aligned to the International Society for Technology and Education standards, as well as the standards of the American Association of School Librarians. All of the curriculum, including the rest of the program that we created, is accessible by anyone. There's no downloads required. You don't need to use specific technology to get it, and it's also free for everyone. But one of the things that we heard from educators was that if they were going to go and talk about these topics that sometimes do feel a little bit daunting, they wanted to be super well prepared. And so we actually created an additional course that lives in our training center to help teachers go deep through video-based learning on these topics, and they can get certifications for their professional development and things like that. Things like that. So next, moving on to kids. And this is where it gets fun. This is where the gaming comes in. If we had played the video, you would have already had that teaser. But for kids, we developed a game called Interland. And the insight here was that we have said to children and to everyone for quite a long time, passwords include a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, and they're this length, and yada, yada, yada. And password guidance is, a little bit in flux. But the general idea here is that this isn't novel information. But behavioral change doesn't always follow just because you know something. In fact, in the United States today, the most common password is password, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. People know that those aren't the best passwords, but that doesn't always mean that action results. And so we created a game so that kids could intellectually play with these ideas themselves, could run through a LAN, collecting the elements of a strong password, and then use mnemonic devices to create something that not only will they remember, but will enable them to create unique passwords for each of the sites that they visit. That would have been a really great trailer for Interland if we were playing videos. I also encourage you to look at that one online. Some of the important details about Interland. So we wanted to make sure that when we were developing this program, that it was not a program used exclusively by quote-unquote Google schools, or schools that are using Google Classroom or Drive or technologies like their Chromebooks, things like that. And so what we did is we made the entire program unable to be logged into, which means that it stays compliant with COPPA. It doesn't exchange any personally identifiable information between students and us, and enables any school, regardless of their policies around technology, to help their kids be safer online. The entire program is also platform agnostic, which means you're not being taught how to be safe on Google. You're being taught behaviors that'll keep you safe across the internet, how to leverage your settings to keep yourself safe. There's 4 LANs within Interland, which you would have seen in our video, that each practice one of these different skill sets. So I'll give you an example. In Tower of Treasure, like I mentioned before, you're running through the LAN, collecting the elements of a strong password, and then using a mnemonic device. In Kind Kingdom, which is actually my favorite of the lands, you're climbing this mountainous terrain, sharing positivity with internauts who are sad. Internauts are our characters, and using blocking and reporting tools to get rid of the bullies. It really takes these kind of abstracted ideas and makes them something tangible for kids to latch onto. We know that a lot of these skills that are being taught in classrooms need to be continued outside the classroom. A significant amount of student time in classroom is on digital technology today, which we think is great, but that's absolutely not exclusively where kids are using tech, or maybe even mostly where kids are using tech. And so if they're learning these lessons at school, and they're understanding all of this, but then they get home and their parents model behaviors that are very different from what they're being taught, they get in the car and mom or dad or whoever is texting while they drive, a lot of the things that we've just talked about with being safe with technology kind of fall apart, because for most kids, your biggest role model is your parents. And so we created basically a distilled down version of that curriculum, something that we felt would be reasonable to ask a parent to spend time digesting. A 50-page, really robust curriculum is probably not it. And so we distilled it down on our site into something that if you spent maybe 5 minutes, you as a parent could understand the basics of these important topics and be able to have a conversation with your kids. And we also created this family pledge that gives you something tangible to bring everyone around the dinner table or the dining room table to have a conversation and make shared commitments. This is actually something that I should have mentioned before, which is that this is our hope is to be super empowering with this program, to move away from the internet is scary and there's bad things and you need to be careful, and move toward the internet is full of opportunity, and if you have these skills in your back pocket, you have this foundational knowledge, you can make smart decisions on your own. That doesn't mean that parents are not involved at all, and we'll actually talk about a technology that we built to help parents maintain control. But it enables the kids to feel that they have control over their digital lives, and we've seen that results in better behaviors online. And so you can see here, not only are the kids signing, but mom is signing too. So this is the last bit for you, and this is what I just alluded to about giving parents the ability to have more control over their kids' interactions with the internet. And this is something that we actually just released in the past couple months called Family Link. And we'll actually hear from our product manager on Family Link a little bit later today, right here in this same room. So hopefully you'll join us at 2:45. But at a high level, this complements Be Internet Awesome in that Be Internet Awesome gives students, or rather kids and their parents, the knowledge that they need to be safe online and to have these conversations. And Family Link gives parents the ability to be in the driver's seat, to determine, when is it right to be using your phone? Do we not have phones out at the dinner table and things like that? And you'll hear more from our friends in Family Link later today. So that's the Be Internet Awesome program in a nutshell. I have about a minute left, so I can take questions. And I see one right there. Yeah.
I'm striving to find ways to trust people more and more. And I appreciate the Interland environment that you put together for the kids. Is that particular environment disconnected from data acquisition and that type of thing, or are you bringing in a different type of informational demographic there?
Great question. So there is no exchange of personally identifiable information when you use not only Interland, but any aspect of the Be Internet Awesome program. You can't log in, and even if you weren't logged in, there's no exchange of that student data. And this is a slightly different topic, but the same kind of hands-off approach applies with our G Suite for Education accounts, where student data is not being analyzed to create ad profiles and things like that.